Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be working on this 1948 Willys Jeepster. There it is, made by Matchbox, and we're going to do a simple off-road lift. Here we go. Alright, we're gonna start by drilling the posts. Links to everything in the video description. So I use the small drill bit here. We have a bigger drill bit. Again, links are in the video description. You want to use this drill bit just enough to remove the mushroom head of the post. I need a flat tip screwdriver. All right. I should have drilled enough, as you can see. This little lip is what's basically holding the chassis to the body. That's basically how you drill without messing up the base or the chassis. Here it is. Here's the other one. We'll make sure you got everything. Now let's see if we could make it loose. There it is, and the wheels went flying. Now go back to the small drill bit. Now I can see how long the posts really are, and I can adjust the drill bit here, and I can drill without having to worry about going through the other side. This is a must, especially when you're doing a casting that you've never done before, and especially when you're doing a pickup. You should know by now that pickups have a very tiny short post in the back. So as I sit right now, this thing is not going to go back together. When I use the drill bit here, it kind of mushroom the head again. See? So we got to clean it up. For that, I use my Dremel. You can use different adapters, but for today I'm going to be using this one, which works on most vehicles since it's small enough that you get clean around without having to worry of damaging the paint or damaging the casting. try this again. There it is. Smooth. Now we need to make some threads for the button head screw. Take your time. You don't want to stab yourself or break the tab. This is a 256 tab. When I'm not in a hurry, I have a 172 tab. I use that first. That opens up the hole a little bit more, and then I use a 256. Sometimes when you have a car that you need to install a 256 screw, but the post is kind of small, that's the best way to do it, because you don't want to force this one. You see the 172, it's a little bit smaller. So that other method works. But you can see this casting has big and thick posts. We don't have to worry about that. It should be good. Here is the base. Remove the wheels. Let me open the tabs. You could cut them if you want. I don't like to cut them. I use them. I'm gonna be using these Matchbox. Now I have to make axles, and as I sit right now, we need to make it higher. Now there's two ways you could do this. You can install the axle on the outside. We can determine that right now if we need to do that to get the appropriate clearance, or can we just cut a deeper groove here to achieve a stock looking lift. So I've never worked on this car before, but we're gonna try it. So I use this blade here, and that's gonna make the groove here deeper, which is gonna allow the axle to sit lower, and that is gonna raise the vehicle. Now I don't know if this is gonna work. If I'm gonna have to go through the outside, but we'll see. Yep, it's gonna work. That should be enough clearance right there to let it roll. I could go a little bit deeper. Now let's do the back also. I like to make sure that before gluing everything down, that the rear is actually lower, the groove is lower. That way it ends up being, when you put everything back together. Okay, I lost a set of wheels here. I'll get them later. Oh, they're here, there. I want to make sure that the rear sits lower. That way I get a better rake or stance once it's back together. I don't like when it sits like this. It either has to be straight or a little bit lifted from the back. That looks good. Now we're gonna have to make a axle. There's two ways I could do this. I could just cut the head, glue the end, put it in there. But this method is not gonna work since we need the axle glued down. And if you glue one of the wheels, the axle has to move freely. So we cut. Let's cut another piece. Since the axle was already too long, let's do the other one. Make sure you always cut so the flying piece is not gonna hit your eyes. Wear safety glasses like I am. All right, 1/16 brass tubing right here. I want the brass tube to sit on the inside part. Brass tubing you have to cut with a disc. That's my mark. I'm gonna cut outside the mark or outside the line. And it gets hot. Let's clean it up. Let's clean this side up. And it's a good idea to clean each end. That way when you try to put the axle in, it'll go in smooth. Okay, where's my glue? I like to use Gorilla Gel since it's thicker. A little bit here. we gotta leave a little bit of space since we left we cut the axle, well, the axle tubing to the inside width of the chassis. So it's gonna sit like this. So that has to go back in a little bit more. Let me do the other one and I'll be back. All right, here we go. I have both axles ready. And here is another tip. I have a 1/16 tubing here. Let's see if it wants to focus, or is it just my eyes? There it is. So I heat this up. I go over to the stove, heat it up. And in the event that you need to go a little bit deeper, like I had to here, I just heat this up and I use this to go in and out, and that enables me to create a perfect size channel there for the axle tubing. Now all I gotta do is insert the new axles here. It's gonna be a little bit tight, but that's okay. Remember, we're trying to achieve a lift kit or a lift that it'll look original from the outside. There it is. It rolls. It's not wobbly. And just to be in the safe side, you could close those tabs, or we can check here. This is the other thing you got to do. Since we use axle tubing, the stock grooves here on the plastic, sometimes they don't work. This one, they're wide enough, so this one is gonna work perfect. I don't have to do anything else. So all we gotta do now is put everything together. All I gotta do is find the glass. So over here, I think that's the first thing to go. Got the interiors. And let me get some screws. All right, here we go. 256 3/16 button head screws to close our project. Remember, we did not glue down the axles, so they should have at least some wobbly movement, just like an original, like that. Not that much in the front since it's tight, but we're good. And here it is, guys. Simple lift kit, or a simple off-road lift kit on the Matchbox, a 1948 Willys Jeepster. That's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. You can see this guy was already out in the bushes. and got a battle scar there. Hit a tree, but everything's good to go. Peace out.